Hello, are you able to hear me? I hope it's audible. Let's go. We are live. Okay. Okay, you can interact with me, send me whatever this thing questions you have. Today I'm up for chit chatting with you guys. You can say hi. Hey, hi Nancy Cabrera. Sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. So my idea behind this sketchbook page is a game that I used to play when I was a kid, called Name Place Animal Things, and basically just to sketch everything and get into a practice of sketching everything. I used to um, so I came up with this idea where name place animal thing like similar to that game. So I'll be not just sketching portraits but also like name means a portrait, a human anatomy. Place means something, an architectural piece or like a thing. Then animal, there would be an element of animal, and what remains is a thing, an object, so that at the end of the day, I end up practicing everything and not just human anatomy. So, I took inspiration from that game and I started coming up with these sketchbook pages, and I felt confident enough in them that I could go live with it. Thanks, Nancy. Right now, I don't know how many people are watching, but I can see the comments. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Yeah, so that was my story of how I came up with these sketchbook pages. Now I just take references from Pinterest and from the internet of like two anatomies, because female anatomy and male anatomy is a bit difficult, like not difficult, different. Sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place. This is my first time doing it. Thank you, Nancy. I'm actually thinking if I'm not tired, I might take in request of creating another page where whatever requests, whatever you guys suggest, I will make a sketchbook page out of those suggestions. Like if I'm not tired enough after this page. Now let's see. Hopefully my phone battery does not run out, and hopefully I also don't run out of my battery. So now I'm sketching this male figure. What I generally do is I'll map it out with a pencil and then I'll go over it with the pens that I have. So that's the idea behind it. Actually, in an ideal world where I'm not like doing this on the internet and in my own this thing, I will just start with a pen. I won't start with a pencil. I'll just simply start with a pen, and if it like if it's not perfect, that's fine. But now that I'm doing it on the internet, 6 7. What does that mean? The Odors World 2017. That's an interesting handle name. Are these chatbots or are these real people? Yeah, keep doing that. Too. This is the reason why I was thinking twice about going live because of weird people like this. And I'm gonna call out weird people, okay? Because I don't want weird people on my life. You can either explain yourself. Yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it, my friend. Actually, I would play some kind of music or maybe some kind of podcast in the background, but I don't know if it is gonna get copyrighted. So that these are interesting, and they were really nice people. I would play some kind of music, maybe some kind of yeah. I was saying that I would put like some kind of podcast in the background of this video to keep it interesting. If just to understand if people want to interact, going to do a couple of them and see if anybody is interested in interacting, and does the interaction make the life more interesting. But there are some, weird folks who type weird shit, and I'm not about that thing. Yeah. If any of the people that are watching are also people who pursue art or used to pursue art when they were kids, what was their favorite medium? Like, was it watercolors? Was it gouache? So gouache is a pretty new one. Was it acrylics? Was it oil pastels? And what used to be their favorite subject to sketch or paint? So what was your favorite subject to sketch or paint? Okay, thanks for the hearts and the smileys. Okay, I'll start with me. So my favorite medium when I was growing up was was actually similar to gouache and acrylics. Actually, every medium, but the most go-to medium was watercolors. And my favorite subject was to sketch was landscape, like sceneries. The ones that we all of us grew up on. There are two hills, and there is a sun in the middle of those two mountains, and then there is a river flowing, and there's a house, a small little hut, the standard scenery. That was my favorite, and of course Bob Ross. Bob Ross actually inspired so many of us to get into landscape paintings, painting those scenic Alaskan forests and sceneries. I think he was in Alaska, like those inspiration were from Alaska. For people in India, we can take the inspiration from Himalayas. So that was my favorite subject. So my favorite medium was watercolors when I was a kid, and my favorite subject till date is kinda landscape. But landscape paintings are not something that can be done on a live. Or maybe I can. Actually, I've done it already. But the kind of multitasking that a live requires, um, even if there is no audio, it's difficult to paint live. Sketch, yeah, it's easier, but painting is very difficult. Should I switch angles? Is it not? Yeah, it's not. Let me switch angles. Yeah, I just switched angles so that it's easier to see what I'm sketching. Now you can see my entire setup. Oh god, this is not the easiest thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, see, if I was painting, I wouldn't be able to. Hi, your handle is quite funny, my friend. You can't come on my channel and be a freak. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not the place. And I'm sure there are other channels where you can go and be a freak. This is the exact reason why I was a bit hesitant to have an audio. Don't prove me right. Don't prove that I should not have an audio going, because I thought that there would be sane people coming on my channel who want to comment nice things. But I think that's not the reality of the internet. But if I am live, I'm going to address these comments someday when I'm getting so many nicer comments that I can ignore this. Then yeah, that day maybe. But today, when I have just two or three comments and a couple of them are nasty, I'm going to address them. Also, I genuinely feel creeps need to be called out for being creepy. Before I was starting, I just wanted to come and say that no creepy behavior. Like, I just wanted to put that. I mean, if accountability is removed, this is how you will behave, right? Because on social media, there is no accountability. You are anonymous and you get to be a creep being anonymous. So, in real life, you want to be a creep. It's just that there is too much of accountability that happens in real life. So, you don't get to be a creep. So, now you want to be a creep. So, that's your reality. I mean, that's your true nature. हिंदी में बात करें, मेरी कितनी ऑडियंस हिंदी है. हिंदी में ज़्यादा आजकल बात नहीं होती, बिकॉज काम के वक्त इंग्लिश में बात होती है. बाय द वे, आई एम अ डिज़ाइनर, आई एम अ फ्रीलांस डिज़ाइनर. सो काम और क्लाइंट्स के साथ तो इंग्लिश में ही बात होती है. और यूट्यूब पे भी इंग्लिश में ही बात होती है. तो हिंदी में बात करने वाली अगर मेरी कोई ऑडियंस है, आई डोंट थिंक ऑडियंस इज द राइट वर्ड टू यूज. आई थिंक पेट्रियंस. इफ पेट्रियंस का हिंदी में क्या ट्रांसलेशन होगा? You can suggest something that I should sketch next. So, in this game of name, place, animal, thing, I am done with two anatomical figure. So, what remains is a place, an object, an animal, and a nature related element. That those are like flowers and stuff. So, if there is any particular suggestions that you have that I should sketch next in the remaining space, you can let me know, and I'll actually find a similar reference on Pinterest and sketch it. I have actually narrowed down what I want to sketch, but if there are some suggestions, I don't mind pivoting towards that. Generally, there are so many people saying, "Hi, what are the materials that are using?" In my last live, there was this person who was asking, "What is the book that I'm using?" So, this is basically a book, sketchbook that I got from DIY, Mr. DIY. You find those outlet everywhere in and around Mumbai. If you are from other city, then I would suggest going online. I'm damn sure that they also have online outlets. They also have also apologize for the ringing sound that's coming in. Um, I figured out this entire setup today. Not very great at it, but yeah, because I kind of understood that people wanted to interact and there were people coming in and going, coming in and going, and I was like, what is it that people are not finding it interesting enough to stay? So I was like, maybe if I added an audio to this, then people would want to, interact, and I will have a comment section open. So if anybody will message, I'll reply to it. For sure, I'll reply to it. But that doesn't seem like anybody wants to message. But yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We move on. I'm just proud that I figured this setup. So, what are other streaming? What are the other things that you find interesting for the people who are watching? Like, what is the content streaming this thing? What other live streams do you find interesting? Do we find any other live streams? Oh, thanks. It's what server 8074. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. I really do. I really do appreciate such comments. Makes me actually feel like there are people watching and like normal people, genuinely nice people watching content, and that makes me make more of such content. Thank you. Please subscribe if you like my content. I make a bunch of different content, like when it comes to videos, but my lives are mostly about my art related stuff. Mostly I'm sketching live. Do you have any suggestions as to what I should sketch next in the space that is remaining? Any kind of suggestions are welcome. So I need suggestion when it comes to which kind of animal should I draw, what kind of object should I draw in the remaining place on my sketchbook. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll keep going. I have to until I figure this YouTube stuff out. And thank you for being so kind. I know there are, you know, different people out there, but there are very few kind people, and I appreciate you commenting. It's server 8074. Thank you. May I know, like, what are the places that you guys are living in? Is that intrusion of privacy? If I ask that question as to where are you guys from, forget it. Don't answer that. I think that's invading somebody's privacy. And I totally understand if somebody wants to be anonymous. Like I was that anonymous viewer on so many of my favorite content creators channel, and I totally get why people want to be anonymous. So I appreciate people who are commenting, and I appreciate people who are not commenting for just being there and watching. You can ask me questions. I always used to get like people asking questions, and that's the whole reason why I decided that maybe, you know what, I'm going to have audio to my life. Oh, K-pop idols. You want me to sketch K-pop idols? I have sketched K-pop idols before, actually. I have actually that didn't go very well as I wanted it to, but I have sketched BTS before. I have sketched Blackpink before in one of my lives. You can suggest me other than BTS, other than Blackpink. Is there any other K-pop bands or celebrities in general that you guys would want me to sketch? Like I have sketched Tate McRae before. I have sketched Blackpink. I have sketched BTS before. और हम हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं मला मराठी पण येतं. Yeah, I know. It might help me grow my channel. Yes. But you know what? People, the standard things that we think might work actually don't work. When I started creating content, I thought, okay, fine, this works, this might work. This of course would work because this person already has such a huge what is happening to my English? Such a huge fan base that if I make content around these huge brands, it could be artist, it could be a you know like a music artist, it could be a celebrity. They are so huge that if I make content around them, it is of course going to gain traction. It of course is going to go viral. But the thing is, we as audience, I mean, I'm including myself as well. We don't know what we like. Okay, we today don't know what we will like tomorrow. So it's that's the thing. I mean, the weirdest things are viral, right? The weirdest stuff are viral, and that just says something about human nature that we don't understand human nature completely. You know, we think we are such an evolved species, and we only you know are drawn towards the correct stuff, and we are only interested in the nicest things. No, we are drawn to some weird shit. I mean, why do you think newspapers have so many, headlines which has news of bad things happening all over the world? Because that is what sells, you know, that is what sells. And the weirdest things are selling out. So yeah, I don't want to be a sellout, but I don't mind doing like trying out new things if they align with where I want to take this channel. I don't mind trying those out. I definitely, and I welcome all the suggestions that there are, and I will of course keep take into mind what people are suggesting and bring that into my practice according to my capabilities and taste. So all the suggestions are welcome. Thank you for sorry for going so deep. I mean that's my personality. You can't help that. And YouTube and content creation has helped me become so comfortable in my skin. Trust me, I am not an extrovert at all. The content creation has helped me become extroverted. I think that's it with when it comes to this. Let's move on to the next subject because my battery might die out. It's at 26%. So let's move on. Does this guy look a little bit scary? Oh, he looks a little bit scary. But that's fine. That wasn't my intention, but that's fine. So I'm going on Pinterest right now to see what other references I have for today. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them. I will answer them. If you want to interact with me in the comment section, I'm open to that. अगर आप मेरे से बात करना चाहते हैं तो कमेंट सेक्शन में आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं. मैं आई एम इंटरेस्टेड आपके साथ बात करने में. So I don't think there's much space left. There's a little bit space here in this space here. So I am thinking we can't fit as much as I land on. So maybe we will draw something here. Something can go right here. Actually, one thing can go right here and two things here. I think that is it. We don't have any more space left. So I waited for your suggestions, but since there aren't any, I'm gonna move forward with the references that I have. Guess what this is going to be, okay? For the people who are watching, can you guess what I'm trying to make? It's a bird. It's a bird, you guys. Oh, it's a bird. Yes, and I was watching this documentary lately, um, Netflix documentary. I'm sure some of you are aware about that documentary. It's the documentary's name is Dinosaur. Yeah, so it's on Netflix. Other things that we find interesting. Other people who are, it's fine. It's fine. We move on. I'm just grounded. His dog is so up. I think that's it. Let's move on to the next subject because my battery might die out at 36%. So let's move on. Does this guy look a little bit scary? Oh, he looks a little bit scary. So that's right. That wasn't my intention, but that's fine. Documentary lately. Um, Netflix documentary. I'm sure some of you are aware about that documentary. It's the documentary's name is Dinosaur. Yeah, so it's on Netflix. Sorry, I was just checking if everything is functioning properly. Just wanted to make sure that everything is functioning properly. We are 49 minutes in, and since I'm yapping today, I haven't sketched as much as I would usually. Anyways, yeah, so I was talking about since I'm drawing a bird, there's this documentary out there, and the one that I am aware of. Uh, so there's this. Give me one moment, okay? Give me one moment. I need to charge my phone, otherwise it's gonna die on me. I am back. Now we can go on for a longer duration because I've put it on charge. Okay, my phone on charge. Unnecessary information, too much information that I'm giving out. Sorry, get better at this with time. Yeah. So I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that my lunchtime is gonna get, oh, it's already over. I have to finish this. I don't want to drag this beyond 1 hour, 1.5 hour. We are I don't want to take much of people's time. So we are. How long has this been? How long has it been? Yeah, 1 hour, 1.5 hour. We are 51 minutes in. We are 51 minutes in. I want to finish this by 4. So we are. How long has this been? I'll be finished by 4. Like before 4. So whatever questions you guys have for me, you can text them. You can comment about those. Yeah, so I was talking about this documentary since I'm drawing a board. There's this documentary on Netflix, okay, named the Dinosaurs, and it shows that how much dinosaurs survived. I mean, we know that they are no longer there on our planet, but dude, they survive a lot before getting completely extinct, and they like survive all the possible extinctions that could happen. And we haven't faced any of such, us as human beings, we haven't faced any of these dire extinction phenomena, or maybe we did and it's not, we know, we kind of no longer remember, like it's not recorded in history, so we are not able to trace that back, even if we have faced some kind of extinction. But basically, I don't want to, I digressed, I'm sorry. So basically, yeah, so basically it says that birds, maybe not all birds, are kind of descendants of dinosaurs, whichever way you call it correct. Yeah, so dinosaurs. And just to see the color and vibrancy that birds have, I mean, I have just, earlier when I was a kid, I was just in awe of flowers because they came in so many colors, and I am like crazy for colors, okay? I love colors. I love working with colors. So even when I was sketching line, I couldn't just stick to black and white. I couldn't. I had to have some color going, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. So I found these color pens and I was more than happy to do a monochrome thing, to at least have two colors going while I'm sketching. So yeah, back to that documentary of Netflix. It's a interesting documentary. I finished first episodes, and yeah, it's amazing how much dinosaur had survived, and what exactly got them killed. I think that meteoroid that hit the Earth was something that got them killed. Uh, Not really sure. I have to complete that documentary. But basically, I was saying that how vibrant the colors of the birds, any bird's feathers are, and we don't come in colors. I mean, what are human beings? They are just beige. We just have this very, no, naturally we don't have any colors. I mean, there is color in eyes. I mean, some people have colorful eyes, light eyed. There are people who are light eyed, but we don't have any color in us. And whatever small range of color that we have, okay, when it comes to beige, like darker beige, lighter beige, whatever, we discriminate on that. So we really didn't deserve to have any kind of colors associated to us, because we are so shallow that we discriminate on the basis of color, of whatever small spectrum of color that we have. We discriminate on the basis of that. So we weren't, and we call ourselves intelligent, we call ourselves Homo sapiens, which essentially means intelligent beings. And yeah, we are not. I mean, we consider we are just exploiting resources around us, and I feel man is the most selfish animal that's out there. And here, the usage of man and not a person is quite correct, I feel. Yeah, so you should definitely watch this documentary. It is amazing. It will make you admire how much of resilience dinosaurs had, and they survived so much. And even though they are not amongst us, we have their we have their you know mutated beings with us, which is birds. I mean, how fabulous are birds? The colors that birds' feathers are just beautiful, beautiful. And of course, fishes. Have you been to an aquarium? Though I don't support the idea of aquarium, but if you go to an aquarium, you'll understand there is so much, like, there are so many colors when it comes to fishes as well. Fishes come in almost as much as many colors birds' feathers are, and birds' feathers are as colorful as flowers. Oh, is sketching a hobby, are you or you are an art student? No, sketching started when I was a kid. Not sketching, drawing, painting, everything started when I was a kid. And then I pursued a lot of different technical education. And during lockdown is when I got back to this hobby or creative outlet. I don't like to call it hobby. I feel hobby, you can call it an hobby, let's call it an hobby, but I much like the word a creative outlet. um, so I got back to it when I was in lockdown, and I got so blown by it, and like I got so fascinated by it that I switched careers, and now I'm a designer, and I'm now completely in a creative field. So this is just to exercise my muscle of creating illustration, and to put my art out there so that it can reach as many people. No agenda behind it as to what I want to obtain by it reaching many people, but I'm creating so much of artwork throughout the day that I want to put it out there. I want it to reach as many people as, but I don't have education in fine art, so no, I'm not an art student. I studied, I didn't study art, but I feel even if you study art, or even if you don't, you have to practice to get better at this thing, because this is a skill, right? So any skill can be learned if you hone it, if you carve out time for it every single day and practice it. Just, and it also helps you understand how much in love you are in, how much love you, how do you say in that sentence, how much you like your art form, how much you like your craft, how much you love your craft, you understand it that ways. If you are carving out time, that shows that of course you are completely fascinated by your craft. So yeah, that, I hope that answered your question. Thank you for still being there, by the way. I think this is a woodpecker, what I've drawn. What I have drawn is a woodpecker, my friends. Mm, 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 mm. Guess what I'm drawing now? Can anybody guess what am I drawing right now? Actually, it's a bit difficult to guess, so it's okay if you guys are not able to guess it. And I don't know how much justice I'm doing to it, so it will make your life easier to guess what this subject is. It's a it's a pastry. It's something similar to croissant, of type of croissant, if I'm not wrong. You can comment what's your favorite type of pastry. Do the guys and gals that are watching have any favorite form of desserts? Maybe I'll sketch it for my next live. This was supposed to be green. But unfortunately, I forgot that. It's fine. You live and you learn. If you see it this way, probably, if you see it this way, then it looks more of a pastry. This way, does it look like a pastry now? Yeah. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Now, one more thing that we have to sketch. One last thing that we have to sketch. We have to wrap things up, and good that we have reached the end. Uh, One last thing that I'm gonna sketch for today is what 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 it is going to be, or maybe you could guess. Can anybody guess what is the last thing going to be? Depending on the space that's available, there are not many things that I'll be able to accommodate. One last thing that I'm looking for. What is that going to be? Anybody guesses? It's going to be an easy one. So this is the place that we have available. I'm gonna sketch here, and this would have the end signature. So yeah, that's about it. So it will probably be in green. Again, I'm using this pink shade by mistake. It's a flower, my friends. Ideally, the flower should have been in pink, but since I have used pink for most of the things that I've sketched today, I'm gonna stick to green just to balance this page out. What's your favorite color? My favorite color to sketch with is any pink, purples, or red warm tones. I prefer warm tones to sketch with ever since I started this. It's just something about warm tones and a lighter shade of blue, though it is not as vibrant. And I don't know if the audiences like that because it's not clear and it's not as vibrant and saturated, and the designs are not easier to understand. But I prefer lighter shades such as yellows and light blues, and I would, given a choice, I would sketch in that. But keeping in mind that you know it's not easy to understand a sketch that is made in light colors. Give me a moment, please. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, so I prefer sketching in lighter shades, and doesn't always is the best for somebody who's consuming art, or like for them it's not the best. But as an artist, I feel there is so much that you can build with a lighter shade. I mean, you can, it's completely in your control to go as dark as you want when you're working with a lighter shade. Whereas when you're working with a darker shade, it's already dark, right? You're already, every brush stroke, every sketch pen mark that goes down on the page, you're kind of committed to that. And in a good way, there are pros to it. I mean, you don't keep going over your this thing again and again. So there are pros to that. Yeah. thanks for joining in. Whoever joined in today, I am extremely grateful that there are people watching, and I hope this was entertaining enough and interactive enough. There is still a little bit of time left. If anybody wants to ask any question, make any kind of suggestions, or just comment hi, you can do that. I think we missed on a landscape. So it's name, place, animal, thing. So we have name. That's the game that I play when I'm making these sketches. Okay, it's a old game. Gen Zs might not know about the game, but millennial people are aware about it. And it's a game that we used to play back in school, and I have taken inspiration from that game so that I practice all types of sketches instead of just portraits or just landscape. So name, place, animal, things. I mean, all these should be there on a sketchbook page that I work on. So there should be um, name, so a human figure. There should be a name place. There should be an architectural piece or anything that denotes some place. Then there should be a name, place, animal. There should be animal, some kind of animal anatomy. It could be a butterfly, it could be an insect, it could be birds, it could be animals, any form of this thing. Then to that I have taken another tangent is I want to also practice sketching flowers and nature and leaves and all of that. So again, a natural element and name, place, animal, thing, and object. So today we could achieve four out of that, three out of it. So there's a human figure, this three, and one thing that's missing is something related to a place. So some kind of landscape. It could be a building, it could be a shop, it could be a boat, it could be anything. So that's missing today, but that's fine because we are out of space on our sketchbook. So that's fine. But today's practice is in. I'm really grateful for whoever joined in. I'm just putting in the places, not the place, but a timestamp in. Thank you so much for watching, and this is what we sketched today. Let me just turn this off. This is what we able to accomplish. And if you liked today's content, then please subscribe, share, like, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, all the comments. Thank you for the compliment comments. For not being creepy, for not being rude, for yeah, for just being there till the end. Thank you. Bye, bye. See you in the next live, my friends. Tata, sayonara. I don't know any other languages. Otherwise, I would have said it in those languages as well. Bye.